Woohoo! Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation, with a very, very special show here tonight about tomorrow's Angelic portal event. With that said, and that's a term that I think Aya Bear, our moderator extraordinaire, super moderator extraordinaire, I think I've been sworn not to say with that said. However, tonight, with that said, it has been a really strange evening here in the Sandler household. I have Bluey, I think it is, on the main TV, a wall or two away from me, with a Hana Bear who turns 2 in just 2 weeks, with a decent little fever. And so I wasn't sure if I would be holding this tonight or not. I'm still not sure if I'm holding this, but we're going to do the best we can for just a little bit and see where we get. It has been, I don't know about you, but I should ask, has it been weird this week for you? Because it has been weird here for us. And we're mid-packing. This was supposed to be a shorter event. We're mid-packing because we drive in the morning. We're supposed to drive in the morning up to the New New Jersey border for the national championships for off-road triathlons, which is next weekend. And the number of things that has gone wrong or off in the last couple of days is legendary. We had Sir Meowsers, who came back with some blood work where we get to be very, very attentive to his needs. We had keys missing, keys found. Now both sets of keys for the RV have disappeared. I have a foot that had been healing recently, got better, then it got sore. Now the fever with Hana Bear. So we've got fever, no keys, all sorts of weirdness. And I'm paying very close attention to it. Now, for all of us right now, and I feel like saying with that said, I'm going to say that a lot this evening. Let's see if we can drive Aya Bear nuts. With that said, and the reason that I'm using that is that's an old term that I use that apparently is trying to come back up. Old stuff, old habits, old patterns, old everything is coming up right now to be cleared. So last year I was qualified for the World Championships in a version of triathlon, different one, not an off-road version. And Hana Bear needed heart surgery, minor heart surgery. She's doing amazingly well on that very day, which meant that I didn't go to the World Championships. Here we are about to go to the National Championships to qualify for the World Championships again. And she has a fever. You look at this and you go, wow, what are these patterns? You lose keys, you find keys, then both sets of keys disappears. Wow, what are the patterns going on? So while we're talking here tonight, it's very important that we look at all of these patterns taking place right now. In fact, I have a massive clearing. You can come join me. Come join all of us. People in the chat can tell you about it. Wednesday night with our School of Mystics, we are going to be doing the clearing of all clearings on these patterns that are coming up right now during this Mercury Retrograde. They're coming up for a reason, not necessarily so that I don't go to a national championships, though she's not feeling well. I ain't going. But they're coming up so that we can see them, so that they can be cleared. Now, today, if it's still today where you are, we are at 421. What is 421? 4 is a day of angels. 2 is a day of decisions. 1 is getting alignment with the universe. So it's a day where it's challenging you, saying, are you getting in alignment? Are you getting to where you get to be? 2 plus 1 is also 3, which means creative. Is there anything creative that you have to do to get there? Hello, yes, there is. And then if you put that together, the 2 plus 1 plus 4, you've got 7, which is a number of blessings. If you get in alignment, that's what's so important. So right now, we've been focusing, well, before Hana Bear this evening, we've been focusing on Sir Meowser's health and getting in alignment there. And we've been asking the question, are we, not do we get to go to nationals, but are we in harmony? And are we in balance? This is so important during this time to ask, how do I stay in balance? Or how do I, it's hard to do it with one person. How do I harmonize or get in sync with the universe? Now, tomorrow, I put it in the title, I put it in the thumbnail, is a very, very sacred, special day. Why? Well, if you look at the number, it's all twos, it's all fours. Well, there's a zero thrown in there if you're going to go for the year as well. It's twos and fours. What do we have? A day when your angels are super close by your side. A day where you get to make really big decisions and stick to them. Tomorrow is a very, very special day. Whether it's 422 or 224, it doesn't matter. Either way, it is a very special day where we get to make big decisions. We get to look at how things get to be an even better state of balance. Now, I keep coming back to that word. Why? Well, people think the whole world is going crazy. The world is out of order. There's darkness taking over. There's evil taking over. Well, I'll tell you what. The universe always seeks balance. It always seeks harmony. If you look up at the stars aren't fighting with each other. If they were, we wouldn't be here right now. So the world is not coming out of balance, but we're being challenged to put our lives back into balance at the highest level. That's why we've got a bunch of junk coming up that gets to be cleared. So let's talk about tomorrow. Again, for April, angels. It's the month of angels. It's the time to call on the angels. To me, there is no more, what would we call it? No easier and better month to connect with your angels than April. It's easier to reach them and it's real. It's palpable. This month's kind of weird. It's kind of wild. The energies, if we had an energy-o-meter, the energies of April are off the charts. Go to the news, go to social media, go to anywhere you desire, and you'll find the energies off the charts, which is important and not a bad thing because they help us to recognize things, to feel things, to see things, and to make the decisions that get to be made. Now, you have internal decisions and you have external decisions. An external decision was, well, do we take Sir Meowsers with us to New Jersey because he was supposed to stay here with Lumi and the Love Bug? And the answer became very clear. Of course we take him. External one, do we get the mini that we got a couple of days ago? Actually, Jessica got. How does it get any better than this? She looks so good in her little mini. Do we get the mini as a tow car? That's an external one. The answer was yes. External one. Do we have the show here tonight? So far, the answer is yes. Yes. I'm waiting. And if I'm called Michael from the other the room, forgive me, the show will be done for the night. But there are internal decisions that get to be made as well. Do I change my spiritual habits? Do I add anything to my habits? Do I check in? And I just heard a ping on the phone, so I'm checking in to see if that was the doctor calling us back. Do I check in to see if I'm in balance? How do I get more in a state of love at this time? All of these are internal decisions that then affect our external world. Clearing Wednesday, it's all about balance. Internal decisions about balance. How we're living our outer world, all about balance. And what appears to be our lives being thrown out of balance. So I laugh tonight. Laugh? Is that the right term? I don't say bring it on. But when I watch Hannah Bear have a fever, when I watch Sir Meowsers who got interesting blood work a couple of days ago, when I see that the keys, both sets have disappeared, and I've been spending the better part of the day trying to find the keys so we can leave in the morning, and it's like a Keebler elf has come and hidden the keys. When this happens, I go, okay, the universe is playing with me. I get to pay very close attention to this. And the universe tends to make you feel completely out of balance to give you energy to help bring you back to balance. What does that mean? Well, in an effort to get the RV ready, the fact that the keys have disappeared means I'm doing all of this extra stuff on the side, which turns out to be very, very important. During this time, if things come up and make you feel off balance, what they're doing is giving you extra energy to get back in balance at a higher level. So, It is a very sacred, special time. That's why we call it sacred. For the wounds that are coming up, I have a hard time with, oh, goody, when the wound comes up. But it is the good stuff. If I had Dr. Michael Lennox on the show, and he is, he wrote the Llewellyn's book, a Dream Dictionary. We're having him back on for dream interpretation. He's the dream master. Many are, but he is at the very, very top of his game. And you threw a nightmare, he would say, oh, goody, something that gets to be cleared, something that gets to be looked at. These wounds that are coming up are oh, goodies. The triggers that are coming up are oh, goodies. Look for what sets you off during this time. Look what makes you go nuts. That's an oh, goody. We bring that Wednesday. Come join us at the School of Mystics. I'm very bullish. I'll let people tell about it. If I seem like I'm pushing the clearings are what I'm told I do best. And they work and they have stick. And so that's why I'm saying come on down on Wednesday. But when these things come up, they are oh goodies because we find what gets to be clear. We find patterns in our lives. We find destructive patterns. We find habits that get to go. We find thought systems and beliefs that get to go. Now, it's interesting. I'm always looking at the patterns at this time. So, we got interesting blood work back from Sir Meowsers, or first Sir Meowsers, on, what was it, Friday. Now, we weren't planning on taking him to New Jersey. He was going to be staying here, as I mentioned earlier, with the other kitties. The last time we went to New Jersey without the kitties, we went to New Jersey without Rue as well. And Rue ended up getting sick while we were gone, and he passed away. He was healthy, he was not healthy, then he was very healthy, or appeared to be healthy, and then he passed away. A year ago, 8 months ago, something like that. And so when I see Sir Meowser's not feeling well, and we're supposed to make a trip to New Jersey, I go, wow, this is interesting. Why is this coming back up at this time? And what's the meaning? Last time, we had left everybody at home. Guess I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go a different way this time. So maybe it was a message about priorities. I mean, my priorities are very clear. It ain't the national championships. It ain't a world championships. It's a papahood championship. It's a hoobiehood championship. It's a then be with you guys championship. That's a hobby. This is real. Taking care of family is real. So maybe it came up to challenge me on my priorities, on challenge me on loving Sir Meowsers up more, on spending more time with Sir Meowsers, which I must admit, looking for the keys today, I have not been on my A game with Sir Meowsers. It is about giving him all the TLC I can. When you do this, when these things come up and you're faced with decisions, because 2-2 is about decisions. 2 means discernment. It means which way are you going to go. 2 is 10 times the discernment. Now 4 is 2 and 2, so you've got 2, 2, 2, 2 for a date tomorrow. Hello. Massive decision day, massive discernment, looking both ways, and then making the big decisions. However, if you pay attention to the energy, the big decisions may not be very big at all. They may come very clear. And they may point out a bigger theme in your life. There are always bigger themes at play, what I call archetypal patterns. What in the world is an archetypal pattern? It means a way that you've been in life, a way that you've acted in life, a way that you've walked through the life, a pattern, a major pattern that we get to break here and now with a 4-2-2 ahead. Now, for anything I'm telling you for tomorrow, we got that 4. That means don't go it alone, call on your angels, call on your guides, call on them with everything you've got. Call on them to help you with archetypal patterns. Why? And we're going to certainly clear these bad boys. I'll put that in quotes, bad boys. There is no good or bad, but we're going to clear these bad boys on Wednesday. However, there is a lot of energy behind patterns in your life and behind archetypal patterns, which is the who or what you appear to be. So I had Well, I had my coyote, Pumpkin. She lived to over 17 years of age. She was diagnosed with mast cell tumors at age 7, and we went through surgery after surgery after surgery to where I became very not gun shy is the right word. I don't like that term. Very nervous before going into the vet. I've had other animals who I've been very nervous going into the vet. And then when I had Rue, he was misdiagnosed once and almost killed. On the second vet he went to when he was seriously ill a few years ago, they talked about, well, there's a bird flu or something. We may have to destroy him. He did not have the flu. And so I was slow the last time around in bringing him in, and he had a heart attack and passed away. Do I forgive myself for it? Yes. Could I have done something about it? From what I'm told, no. And I actually I got in to see a vet with him a week beforehand. I drove him to the U-turn before the clinic where they called and said, sorry, we can't take him today. And then they rescheduled for Monday, and then they canceled for that Monday as well. So I watch what are my patterns? What's the archetypal pattern when it comes to veterinary clinics and myself, or when it comes to taking in a child not to the vet, to the doctor as well. And I have a pattern of fear, of hesitation, and of doubting myself. That's been my archetypal pattern, that there was, that I would get a little bit weird at these times. Now, I got, was it Monday? Monday morning. So over the weekend, I noticed her meowsers were starting to drink quite a bit. Monday morning, I immediately, this was breaking the pattern, I immediately called the vet and said, I need your first appointment. It's Tuesday morning for blood work. It's Tuesday morning. Got him in ASAP. I was breaking the pattern, but I was recognizing the pattern as well. That's what we get to do. We get to recognize the pattern. We get to recognize the wound behind it. What's the wound in my case? The wound is very clear. It's fear of not making the right decision when going to the vet. And specifically, there's a wounding around Rue. Why didn't I get him in on time? Gets to be cleared during this time. The archetypal pattern gets to be broken, and the wound gets to be cleared. Now, this time I went the other direction. And we got Hannah Bear, who she may have had a fever last night. She was just a little bit weird, a little bit off. Today she was a little bit weird. She was a little bit off. Then Mama Intuition kicked in. We found the thermometer. She had a fever. And I had contacting the pediatrician with approximately 30 seconds. Breaking the archetypal pattern. That's what we get to do at this time. Whatever is that big picture pattern of the wounding that keeps on coming up and coming up, particularly now. And yes, I will look at why the keys are missing and why all these hiccups with this trip. I'm not that superstitious, but I do pay careful and close attention. I want to let you know, this is an exhausting month for all of us. This is a month where it would be easiest for us to hide under the covers, easiest for us to hide under the desk. Unfortunately, we're not really granted the luxury at this time. Because of all this energy, this is a time of action, not a time of rest. So it's a time where we want to kick back and go, ah. And instead, we get to take action to step forward into ourselves. We get to take action to step forward into our futures. We get to take action, as I was talking about just now, to take care of and protect the ones we love. In the past, we've never thought of April as an action month, but that's exactly what it is. And you don't have to go it alone. It's a month of angels. The angels are on standby waiting to help. So we call on them before any action. We call on them before we take our big decisions. And we can ask up above, we can ask in our hearts, what decisions am I willing to act on today? So let me ask you this. What decision, and particularly for tomorrow, what decision are you willing to act on today? What decision do you know? I mean, know in your heart of hearts. What decision do you know gets to be made? And What decision will have more of a global impact or an archetypal impact on your life? In other words, that will change your story, change your patterns, and change the outcomes as well. What I call hopping to a new timeline or to a new parallel reality, because that's what it is. When you break that archetypal pattern, you are no longer on this railroad track. You're way over here. Now, let's go back to the elephant in the room. It's news of the tail end of the Mercury retrograde. It's actually why we're having the clearing on the 24th, which is the very, very end of the Mercury retrograde. Why? Because we get to get rid of whatever came up during this time, and it's been huge. So we get to get rid of it. Absolutely get to let these go. And at the same time that we let everything go on Wednesday, we get to make decisions beforehand. In other words, this is not a month of coincidence. This is not a month where someone just called you. If you've gotten a call, in fact, there's somebody who I know that I get to call back. If you get a call this month and you go, well, isn't that interesting? It's much more than that. If you bump into someone or bump into something or bump into an experience a time and time again, and it comes up during this month, that ain't no coincidence. This is a month of big stuff. Big stuff. Somebody very near and dear in Jessica's life recently passed away, and she did not know about it until yesterday. It comes up right now for a reason. And so we get to look particularly on this 2-2 date at what gets to be cleared. What gets to be cleared during this time? Or what decision do you get to make during the 2-2 portal? Now, we've got clearings. We've got decisions. Let's talk briefly about what this portal is. And then we'll get to a Q&A. I have a summary. We'll get to a Q&A a little bit faster. And then we will wrap things up. Aw, 2 dumb thumbs down. I send you guys love. What does a portal mean? What in the world is a portal? Oh yeah, the more thumbs up we get, the more the YouTube algorithm shares it, the more people find it. So feel free to, somebody says slam or crushed that thumb button. Love up that thumbnail, that thumb button with everything you've got. What does a portal mean? It means a day when energies are amplified, a day where it's easier to jump timelines. A portal day, is a day where the veil is thinnest, particularly for certain things. So tomorrow is an angelic portal day. It's easiest to communicate with your angels, particularly on the topic of decisions. It's also where it's easiest to get the assistance you need on this day as well. Now, please note, whether it is 422 or 224, depending on how you call in the world, it still adds up to the same thing. Big decisions, angels, and if you break the 4 into 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. It is a very big day, no matter where you are in the world. So, on a portal day, use the energies of the day for all their worth. Now, keynote. Nowhere did I say you have to go it alone during these times. Nowhere did I say you have to do it by yourself. This is a time of ceremony, of sacred ceremony, of working with your angels, of coming together as one. So I was channeling this morning. And it's a channel of co-creation. And I got to this part, and I immediately basically put down my pen. Or in this case, I type it out. So I stopped typing my notes, and I went into prayer for Sir Meowsers. That was what was most important. I'm going, oh, we don't have to go it alone? Well, let me say a prayer for Meowsers. And I did a very, very extended prayer and got some advice right back for Sir Meowsers through automatic writing. Got some advice right back as well. So the answer is clear. You're loved, you're supported, you're taken care of, and you get to make a big decision tomorrow to clear old patterns. And again, you've got the full-on clearing Wednesday, but you get to make a decision tomorrow particularly during this Mercury retrograde, which amplifies everything, which makes it difficult to breathe, which makes things feel over the top, which makes things malfunction, which makes the Keebler elves go and steal your keys. Maybe. Who knows? This is why electronics blow. This is why things go weird during this time, is the energy of Mercury retrograde helping us. Yeah, it's even why sometimes we lose our schnizzle, shall we say. We blow our own circuits during this time, even if we're very calm and even keeled, because of the energies that are here to help us to cleared. In fact, Mercury retrograde, you can tell it's a Mercury retrograde moment when you say, "You always did this to me," or "You never." If you say anything global, never, always, no, that's a Mercury retrograde moment. And your partner, or it could be you, is going, wave the white flag. Because that's what Mercury does. It will say always or never or anything every time, so that it helps you to recognize it, so that you notice that you've been cleared, so that you notice that you become a loon, so that you notice that you get to clear this. The triggers today are the triggers of the past coming up now to be cleared. Jessica had one, I think it had to do with us going in an RV. She said, "You always do such and such when we travel." And I said, I haven't done that since we were on book tour 14 years ago. And she said, "Yeah, but it's still inside of me." Cool. We can clear it. That's a Mercury retrograde moment, when what took place 14 years ago appears like it's taking place now. Now, you may feel during this time that you've gone completely backwards, not to mention bat crazy, or you may feel disappointed in yourself. I thought I was beyond this. I thought I was better than this. I thought, trust me, you're great. You're awesome. I mean this. I'll slow down. You're great. You're awesome. I love you. You're perfect just as you are. You're simply having a Mercury retrograde moment coming up right before 422. So if you're disappointed with yourself, if you're upset with yourself, if you're going, why, blah, 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 blah. No, that was by design to help you to get clear, to help you to get light. So this is a time of self-care. For myself, I've got had that sore foot. It's very, very clear. The angels and guides are like, look, last few years you've done a lot of this, and you've done some training, but you haven't done much in the stretch and recovery department. You put yourself right back in a chair, and as anybody will tell you, the chair is not the healthiest place to be. They're like, look, you want to win your national championships, you want to win your world championships, then you need to address the very things that you haven't been willing to address. You get to change some of your habits. So, how will I do, assuming I get to the race this coming weekend? I have no idea. In fact, they're talking about it being very cold and wet, training in warm to hot Florida. That's interesting. Historically, though, I'm the guy who does great when it's colder and wetter. So it'll be interesting. But these things are coming up now to help me to rise to the occasion to a higher level. They're coming up now to help me to rise to the occasion, to get to a higher level. So important to understand. This is what this is for you too. It's helping you get clear. It's helping you get light. It's helping you shift your life. It's helping you break through paradigms. It's helping you let go of archetypal patterns so that you can live a greater life. So, I'm going to take a sip of water. Yes, I brought water here. And then I want to go through a list of some things. Oh God, list sounds so classy. I want to schooly. I want to go through some summary key points with you. Oh, that sounds class-like too. Forgive me. Let me just take some water. Then we'll get through this together, and we'll get your questions answered. And I'm listening. Oh, they've still got Bluey on in the other room. Everything seems to be going good. Grounding and meditation, Michael, along with nutrition, a little bit of chillaxing. Yes. And I got Sir Meowser's a new grounding. We take him out in the grass and sit in the grass each day, minus today. But we got him a new grounding bed for him today as well. We spend Hannah Bear, Sir Meowsers, and myself all sit on the grass each evening and hang together and plug back into the earth. All right, hold on. Okay. What are the key takeaways? One, particularly now, this is always the case, but in this month with the 4, you are loved and supported. Your angels and guides want you to know this more than anything else in the world, that you are loved and supported. 2, call on your angels now, particularly today and particularly this Wednesday as we exit this Mercury retrograde. And now I'm hearing Hannah Bear, and I'm seeing if everything is okay. We'll see. I think Mama Bear is bringing her back to bed. 3, energies are being amplified right now for your highest good. So look at where you're triggered, look at where you're being upset, and look for what gets to be cleared. 4, clear them on your own. Clear them with energetic assistance. Heck, don't clear them on your own. Call in your angels and guides to help clear them, or come join us Wednesday and we will do a massive clearing on them. But make sure you get these things clear at this time and don't go it alone. 5, recognize there are big decisions that get to be made. You may have been able to put this off in 2023, 2022, 2021, even as we were going through the craziest time period here on Earth, but you can't put it off in 2024. You know it, I know it, the universe is not going to allow you. So there are big decisions that get to be made. Use the energy of 422 or 224 to help you with the decisions. Feel into them, internal and external. What does that mean? Help me with the decisions. It means really feel into it. Go quiet, lean into it. Feel it with your bones. What feels right? Or let's be honest, more importantly perhaps, what feels wrong? And ask, not just with what would love do, which is one of my most, and it's also A Course in Miracles, one of the most profound questions out there, what would love do? But ask, what would bring me into greater balance or into greatest balance? That's how we started this. This is bringing it full circle here tonight. Ask, what would bring me into greatest balance? 6, make the big decision for your world inside and out and step forward symbolically. Make the big decision, step forward symbolically. This means recognizing the decision isn't about the decision, but about breaking an archetypal pattern. The decision's not about the decision, it's about breaking a pattern. What does this mean? It means jumping from one railroad track or timeline you've been on life, a timeline of helplessness, for instance, or a lack of abundance, or a timeline of a lack of love, or a timeline of a lack of weakness, of disability, of anything, any pattern or lack that keeps coming up as an example. That's an archetypal pattern or an archetypal theme. It's something that defines who and what you are until now. And on 422 or 22-4, you get to break the archetypal theme and pattern and jump to a new timeline where it doesn't exist anymore. You get to jump to a new timeline where that's not your theme. That's who you were. That's not even who you were. That's the other you's theme. It's not yours. How do you do this? With your decisions. For your decisions are much greater than do I stay or do I go, or do I take Sir Meowsers or do I not? Your decisions have an energetic way or ramification that extend far beyond the actual loci. Point down here, it's a point on the timeline, but beyond the actual loci or decision point. It has a ramification beyond the decision point. And so your decisions are incredibly important because they will ripple out throughout all of the timelines of your life and can literally send you from this trajectory to one way over here. So look for what the big decisions are and do your best to make them on this sacred day. And that means 422. And lastly, 7. That's the number of blessings. Step forward on this day, not symbolically, but with action. So on 422 and 224, if you step forward with action, that may be writing something out, taking a step forward, making a phone call, taking a drive. Hello. Well, in theory, we're taking a drive tomorrow in the RV that has been parked pretty much for over a year because we didn't feel ready to take that action, and we are ready. Step forward with an action that says, I've been doing X, now I'm doing Y. Now, bringing it back to us. This step that you're being challenged to make is breaking free of gravity. We have Cape Canaveral down the road here, and those rockets take a lot of energy to break free from gravity. That may be what's going on in our lives, in our world right now. That's what I've been saying today. Before I found out that Hannah Bear had a fever, as I said, it feels like we're having not difficulty, not challenges, but there's a lot of energy involved in breaking free from gravity, of going from one archetypal pattern. That was the archetypal pattern of, I will stay put, I will just weather this, I will not, it's not that we weren't living. I got too no, I don't even know the right words for it. I'll have to feel into that and get back to you on the right words. But we had the RV parked in the yard and weren't taking it out until tomorrow. Okay, it might have a little delay. We shall see. But now we've chosen. And by choosing, we break an old pattern and we put ourselves on a new timeline. Now, you might need to get some help. That's okay. Might need to call in some angels. That's awesome. But make sure that you make a symbolic step forward tomorrow. And I promise you, you will be rewarded. Not only will you hop to a different timeline, you will literally change the future of your existence. You will have a new pattern, the new pattern of the doer, the new pattern of the action-oriented you. Not meaning that you have to do, and go, but the one that is in greater alignment with your heart and does the things that matter most for your heart. You'll be jumping into a new way of being. Somebody here is mentioning, Olivetta is saying, sending love. And thank you, Olivetta. You'll be jumping into a pattern, a new archetypal pattern of being even more loving and kind to yourself. Of course, you can also come join us Wednesday, which is supposed to be Wednesday evening from New Jersey in the RV. I'm assuming that's where it will be for this clearing. TBD, stand by on that one. But we will be having that clearing. Of this, you can be sure. And that clearing will be profound, and it is perfectly timed for the end of Mercury retrograde so that everything coming up now, all the junk gets to be cleared. And how does it get any better than this? Oh, somebody donated $20 to Save the Children, which is for kids on both sides, because there are no sides, in the Middle East for the challenges going on right now. That's an understatement. So awesome. And thank you. And we just broke 1,000 people in the chat. How does it get any better than this? If you like this, I would love to see 1,000 thumbs up, because the more thumbs up that we get, the more the YouTube algorithm actually goes and puts it. It's a funny thing. It doesn't even share it with our whole audience, but the more it'll put our show on people's walls and suggest tonight's show for people to watch. So I would love to see 1,000 thumbs up. All right. So today, tomorrow, for the next few days ahead, be more awake, be more aware. Call in the angels to help you make the decisions. Nowhere did I say go it alone. And I promise you, you will be rewarded. And how does it get any better than this? And I don't know if it's the 1,000 people in the chat. I don't know if it's the donation to Save the Children. I don't know if it's all the love we're getting right now. But all of a sudden, my body temperature has gone through the roof. This happens when I channel. And so, yes, I do have a shirt on under here. And no, we're not going to knock the mic. Bear with me. Wow. I woke up with some meowsers on the mind at, 5 something this morning, the same way. Body temperature like, So, all right, let me take some water here and then we will go into questions. And thank you, everybody. And thank you, Aya Bear and Ann Bear and Super Bobs and our whole dream team. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guys. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guys. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guys. Aureen, all right, from Doreen. I woke up on 4:19 and I heard my name and looked at the clock, 4:12 a.m. I asked but heard nothing else. What does it mean, or if it happens again? Can the angels inform me how the doctors and I can have my health better and well again? Oh, Doreen, oh, so awesome, so awesome, so perfect. Okay, so 4:12, similar stuff to what we're talking about. You get 4 is the hour of the angels. 1 is getting alignment. 2 is the decisions that you get to make. I would certainly be calling on your angels, but when you hear your name, it's a profound bookmark. It's a bookmark that says, we're here. We're really here right now. So, Doreen, whether you know automatic writing or any other process, or simply when you go to bed at night, I want you to call on that voice. Call on that voice for help. Call on that voice for guidance. Call on that voice for assistance. It's a very high level angel that's calling on you during this time, or calling you to help you at this time. Now, it's interesting because if we look at 419, 9 has life path number, meaning big life-based decisions that get to be made. And so that is a perfect time for them to be getting your attention. And I want you to reach back out to them now with everything that you've got. And forgive me, everybody. I don't know why, but suddenly, it was because when I took off the sweatshirt, all of a sudden my glasses got real glary. Okay. Marginally better. So sending lots of love, Doreen, your way, and sending lots and lots of health as well. How does it get any better than this? You can do it. You can do it. I want you to call on that voice. Linda, are there easier ways to connect with your angels and guides? So my 2 favorite ways, and forgive me, if you ask a carpenter, they look at everything at hammering and nails. My 2 favorite ways are, 1, automatic writing, because it's very, very simple. You don't have to be able to write. Do teach a live course on it, but you put pen to paper and they start talking to you and you don't have to think about it. It just happens. So that to me is ridiculously easy. Another way is to put out your questions in the hypnagogic state, the half awake, half asleep state, before you go to sleep, and see what comes up, and have a notepad handy for when you wake up in the morning. Another super simple way. Third way would be to go out into nature, even if it's just a city park, which city parks are awesome. And I want you to put your back on a tree, and I want you to put out the questions. Close your eyes and go quiet and see what you hear. Automatic writing in this case is the easiest because it's easiest to discern what's coming from me and what's not. And there's less interpretation of all of these. Other methodologies work great. And there's so many amazing teachers out there who have other techniques as well. So you don't have to just look at the techniques that I share, but you can listen and find what resonates best with you. Angelisa, love. What is the meaning of the number 416? That's my birthday. So we've got angels, that's 4. We've got 1, that's alignment. We've got 6, that is love. Now, if we put them all together, this is one heck of a number because you got 4 plus 1 plus 6. You've got 11. Hello, that is total and complete alignment. And then 1 plus 1 is 2, which means you get to co-create with the universe. You also get to watch the decisions that you make, but you will be blessed. So when I look at 416, the first thing that I see is Sweet 16, and I see love. So what a beautiful, loving day to be born on. A Brooklyn girl, Linda. I keep asking my angels, guides out loud for help and guidance. I don't hear anything. I keep asking. I keep listening. What am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. There is no wrong to be done. The question is, how much can we dial back the inner dialogue, the inner monologue, in order to be able to hear from him? Techniques like automatic writing can certainly help with this. Experiences out in nature, other ways that help quiet the mind can help. Meditation can help as well. But basically, I need to do 2 things with you, Linda. 1, I need to get you out of a place of needing the answer. Weird, but true. Wanting the answer, desiring the answer. Yes, needing the answer is like shouting continuously, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. And it doesn't give space for the angels to speak to you. So we get to dial it back. This is where a little bit of detachment. My gosh, golly, I would love to go to the national championships this week. I believe I will get to go to the national championships this week. I am really curious as to how they're going to go based on all of this weirdness. But if I go, I need to go, I need to go, I need to go, I don't hear a darn thing. I get to say, all right, if it's meant to be, okay. Then they can speak to me. So I get to dial back the energy a little bit, and I get to give it much more space. Is there anything wrong with needing help? No, not at all. But it is harder to hear when you really need help. It's okay. Nothing wrong with it. And, you can't go, well, I really need help. So how do I dial back the really need? You really need. But if we can dial back the attachment to hearing from them a little bit, and actually it's a chicken and the egg, forgive me, Rue, it makes it easier to hear from them. And I send all my love your way. Michael Rainbow, how do I choose where to go when I know either choice will bring the fear of uncertainty? Oh, Michael Rainbow. Well, we got to ride the rainbow like Skittles. We get to ride the rainbow. Uncertainty is the gift and the elixirs of the gods, because uncertainty is allowing us to jump from one timeline to another. If we want certainty, we're stuck, we're bogged down, we're heavy, we're in a rut. You're in the Mercury Retrograde that never ends. That certainty is death. That certainty is, it's a killer. We get to learn how to surf that wave of uncertainty and play with it. That's what we get to do. Without, geez Louise, it would be so easy if I said, I'm just going to stay here at the studio. We're just going to stay here. We're not going to go anywhere right now. We're just going to, no. And I am more of a homebody than Jessica, but I did take myself to raise bicycles in Europe before I got to 21 years of age. I have lived in many different countries. Many, 3 or 4. I don't know if that's many. Challenging myself on that. I did go take, a solo vacation, and not quite solo vacation in Morocco when I was like 21 as well. I mean, but compared to Jessica, I'm more of a homebody. But I know that getting out of my comfort zone allows for what I call road magic. Not rogue magic, very different thing. Road magic. I allow for synchronicities to occur, coincidences to take place that are not coincidences. I allow for myself to see the world outside of myself and outside of my archetypal pattern, and to completely and totally reinvent myself. So, Michael Rainbow, I want you to surf the rainbow. You can do it. Feel into it, which feels better on your heart. And a hint, the feel better to your heart may actually be the even scarier one. And then you make that decision tomorrow and you go for it with everything you've got. Ask for help, though. Be sure to ask for help. Fawn, why do I feel such a huge disturbance in the field? Because it's there. It's there. It's real. But it's not, if we label the disturbance in the field as, well, that's Darth Vader going to do blah, 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 we're in a little bit of trouble by labeling it that. The disturbance in the field is to help us come into balance, equilibrium at a higher level. And to do that, we have to actually break free of gravity. And that's going to take rockets, lots of fuel, and lots of, at this current level of development for humanity, it's going to take a lot of shaking and a lot of, like an electron going to the state change, like that rocket ship going to take off. It's going to take a lot of, well, they call it a blast off for a reason. So Fawn, we don't label it as bad or negative. We say, holy crap, that's a lot of energy at this time, and that energy is here to help humanity. And for anyone who says, we've been here before, we haven't, at least not in this history of humanity. For anyone who says, oh, it always feels this way, no, it doesn't. For anyone who says, oh, it's just going to pass, no, it won't. The energy is coming on more and more and more and more and more to help us to ascend, to help us to evolve. It's all here to serve us. It's all here for our goodness. And how does it get any better than this? So, Fawn, don't label it. Ride the wave. See what you want to do to change that higher level, and don't play the game of studying the whole world around you to try to get an answer to anything. It will only drive you mad at best. It'll bring your energy down. It will take you out of sync. It will take you out of love. It'll take you out of harmony. It'll take you out of balance. Instead, go here, here. Bernadette, how can we lovely spiritual beings educate others with love and zero judgment? You can't. But you can be the greatest tuning fork in the room. You can be the greatest smile in the store. You can be the greatest mystic in your whatever. Bernadette, by vibrating at the highest level, by playing the highest level game, not about trying to make others change, not about trying to wake others up, but by playing this game where you are, like you were saying earlier, you're grounded, you're centered, you're vibrating in here. You're going with light emanating out of every pore of your being just by being you, Bernadette. That does a greater amount of shift of positive change than any amount of grabbing a flag and saying, wake up, change. I need to educate you. Starts in here. Doesn't mean that you can't help others. Man, doesn't mean that you can't start a podcast, write books, anything of the sort. Hello, guilty as charged. No, go for it with all that you've got. But do so in here, and it will change everything out here. That's the best game that you can play, Bernadette. But if you feel called, and if you feel called to do these other things, I have been too. Do it with all your heart, soul, might, and love. And I support you, I support you, I support you. Linda Hansen. Okay, I have to go to the doctor tomorrow because my back collapsed to one side. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like a disc or something is not in order. Am I supposed to slam my hands on his table to get him to listen? Linda, A, we get to go to a different doctor. B, if you're up for it, you get to look for a different modality. First off, I am not a doctor. I do not play one on TV. I am not giving you medical advice. If you came to me, if you were, Linda, if you were my mother, my grandmother, my daughter, my granddaughter, my anything, and you came to me, I would say, we got to get you a different doctor. A. I'd say, B, can we look at acupuncture? Can we look at chiropractor? Can we look at other solutions? It's interesting. There's a doctor who I've had on numerous times years ago whose similar last name to yours, but spelled a different way, was one of the leading back surgeons out there who said how often back surgery doesn't work and how many times it is misprescribed. David Hanscom, I believe it is. You have to Google it on my on the show, and you'll find him, or Ayabear will help you find him. And so he actually steers people away from that kind of invasive treatment because the doctors, he does not believe, himself included, and he's very well trained, know what they're doing more than half of the time, that there are other modalities that work better. So I want to get you already to a second and third opinion with other kind of docs. Now, a last note, Linda. I was hit by a car trying to make it to the Tour de France. Yes, this whole cycling thing coming back around way back when. I won't even say what year. And I didn't do direct damage to my back, but I spent 6.5 years in and out of pain centers with something like 10 or 11 chiropractors. I don't know how many acupuncturists. I don't know how many other doctors before the pain let go, which was when a lot of the healing and the inside took place, and a lot of the PTSD that I had been experiencing was I able to let go of as well. So when it comes to the back, and I would look up David Hanscom. I would look up one of his books on this. Once I started healing that internal pain, the back was able to let go. And I mean in a good way. So it's worth diving into with everything you've got, Linda. And I send so much love your way because I have been there. Jacqueline. My gizmo's lung cancer has grown bigger after shrinking. We need to decide on starting a new chemo medication, but hesitant in starting a new chemo medication. Any advice from the angels? Ooh, and I never try to do medical intuitive channeling. My best guess is yes, and look for what the triggers are. And like I said, I don't do medical intuitive channeling, so I cannot say it all. I'm doing muscle testing and I'm listening, but I do not pretend this to be my game, even listening to the angels. So it would be a yes and ground, yes and get to the earth, yes and look for the triggers. That's all I'm getting. Oh, hands-on healing. Ooh, and if you can, see, this is not me as a, I have, I'm so hesitant about this. This is not my skill set or my game. Oh, I can't quite get it. Can I get it? Can I get it? We're using this on Meowsers now. I would Google and see if anybody has had any luck with a cold laser for lung cancer for someone like Gizmo. It's worth checking on. So that's where I would start. Lots and lots of love, Jacqueline. Lots of love. Karina. Wow. We're expecting biopsy results for my mom's possible brain tumor this Wednesday. We're also anxious. How do we ask for guidance and patience right now? I think you just did. Ask for guidance and patience. And I would put it out there when you go to sleep. I love playing in that hypnagogic state, the half here, half not here state. And so in that state tonight, when you go to sleep, you can put out both a request, but you can also say a statement of how you want to be. So you can put out a request. It can be as simple as, thank you for my patience and guidance. Thank you for my patience and guidance. Repeat it as you go to sleep. Thank you for my patience and guidance. Thank you for my patience and guidance. And you may well wake up in the morning saying, thank you for my patience and guidance, and find that you have more patience and guidance. So Susan, I will check the RV dash again. I have been out there many times today and checked the dash and checked all the nooks and everything. And the bizarrest thing is that it does not have a glove box. But I will keep checking. Question is, do you have to leave on 422? And no, we don't. I have a beautiful, I have a wizard of a doctor that I'm supposed to see on 424, who helps me with my kinetic chain that I've seen nobody else ever be able to help like he helps. And so I'm looking forward to getting to him, but no attachment to it. Although it'd be interesting where we would teach on Wednesday if we're driving. But no, I agree with you. If we get to leave tomorrow, great. If we don't get to leave tomorrow, great. Oh, Master, and I will check, Susan. I will check the dash again, and I will let you know. From Master Q, what is your opinion the most powerful number to use in manifestation? Ooh. See, I like 8, and there are lots of numbers that work great. There's 8, certainly. There is 0 in there as well. 1 is very powerful, but here's why I'm going to go with 8. I'm going with 8 because 8 to me is infinity on its side. And an infinity means the universe is doing the work for you. And so we let it go. So I'm no longer a law of attraction-y guy for the law of attraction. I'm an or something better guy. What does that mean? It means I want what I want or something better. In other words, what I'm telling the universe, and that's what 8 is to me, I'm telling the universe, here is what I want. Here is what I desire. And so I put out my request, but you know best. And so while I have what I desire, you bring me whatever you feel is best for me. So, for instance, we got this little mini this week. Oh my God. I had a English car disease probably since before I was born, because my dad had a little English convertible, a Sunbeam Alpine way in the day, which he had to sell either when I was on my way or I think when I was just first born, because I didn't really fit in the car, I believe is how it worked out. And then I wanted English car. When I grew up, I wanted English car after English car after English car. And here we are with this beautiful little Mini now, that I never planned on. And it's Jessica's car, but I'll have a little fun with it. I never planned on it. I never looked for it. I've just put out things over life where I say, universe, here are the things that I'd like, but you know best. So I'm open for the or something better. And to me, that is a manifestation that's more powerful than anything from my own will. It's also, I did that when it came to invoking, if that's the right term, inviting Jessica into my life. Please bring me someone. I had a list. Bring me someone that meets these criteria on the list, or something even better. And I got Jessica. Oh my God, was I blessed. This show came out of the or something better. I never planned on doing this. I never planned on teaching. I never planned on channeling. I never planned on automatic writing, but asking for that 8, for the or something better. And so to end that question, Master Q, on the license plate of my car, it says woohoo 8, the number for the or something better. Megan, we'll take a couple more questions here. I have a good idea of what I need to release, but it feels like it has such a stronghold. If it feels right, I ask for guidance to help me see how to take the next step. Anything else? Baby step, Megan. Baby step. You know the next step. It's what you do after that you don't know how to take. So take the smallest step you can, but a definitive step in that direction. And then you allow the universe to start unlocking the tumblers of that safe for you, rather than you, or the stronghold, so to speak, rather than you doing the heavy lifting yourself. I would call on angels every step of the way. I would call on the assistance. I would call on the guidance. I would go into prayer. I would go into ceremony. And then I would take a deep breath and step forward. That's where I would begin. And it sounds like that's what you're doing, Megan. You've got this. You've got this. You've got this. And your higher self says you already have stepped forward. Woohoo! Christy, I feel, last question of the evening, and then we'll do a brief meditation. Michael, I feel I have some sort of abilities. Cool. In your opinion, what's the first thing I should do to lean into those abilities? Write about them. Now, certainly I can say go into automatic writing. That's the carpenter wanting to, seeing everything as a hammer and nail. But write about them, Christy. Go quiet at the end of the evening. Put pen to paper and say, I believe that my abilities are blah, 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 blah. And just see what comes out. Then go to sleep after doing the writing. And then write again in the morning and see what comes up. Now, it's interesting. I love the timing of this, Christy, because I have another stone that I was going to bring to use. This is my grounding stone. Good, some sort of obsidian here to help me to ground during everything that I do here. But there's another stone that I just got yesterday to help bring forward special abilities. Christy, between you and me, things have been feeling weird inside of me lately. Not bad weird, not medical weird, but weird, because there's something birthing, there's something coming up, there's some additional ability of mine coming forward, and I don't know what that is yet. And that may be what you are feeling. And so I went and bought a few crystals. I've set that intention. I'm leaning into it. And I know when the time is right, they're going to naturally come up, and not a moment sooner. But I am setting the stage and setting the table for them to come about, and I'm asking. And they've more than hinted or alluded to what it will be. I'm just waiting to see what they're saying it is. But I'm having utter and complete and total patience with it. Even though, Christy, I must admit, there are days where I've gotten dizzy because of the additional some sort of sight that they're going to be giving me. Why are they tapping me on the back of the neck? They're going to be giving me when the time is right. I see people about talking about teal swan. Guys, lover or lover, Teal is her own person. And oh my God, did I have one of the most beautiful shows or interviews with her that is coming out this Thursday. If you know me, anything I do is going to be completely and totally loving at the highest level. And my interview with Teal, my is not a fair word because that my implies ego. It was special. It was sacred. It's one of the shows I'm most proudest of, and it does nothing but good for people. And that is this Thursday's show. And so, if you're into Teal Swan, or if you just want to learn about ancestral healing or clearing ancestral wounds, it is an awesome, 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 awesome show to check out. And I think you will absolutely love it. Okay, gonna drink some water here and then dive into the briefest meditation. I think we've gotten through a lot here in a short period of time. What do you guys think? All right. And yes, do come and join us on Wednesday. A last note. Join the School of Mystics. Let's get you this massive clearing. If people are in the School of Mystics are here, they'll tell you what the clearings are like. Yes, you don't want to drive a you don't want to drive a motor vehicle or operate any heavy machinery afterwards, because these things are real, and the energy you will feel is crazy. And so we want to give you plenty of rest afterwards. Of course, fortunately, it is just as powerful on the replay if you can't make it there live. So I'll let Aya Bear put the link down there and a code to make it easier for you to join as well. All right, so I'm going to go quiet and I'm going to ask what we get to do tonight. Okay, cool. I have a super simple meditation for all of us to do. How does it get any better than this? All right, so what I'd like you to do is close your eyes, ground yourself into your chair. Wiggle your arms back and forward. If you've got armrests or on your lap or on your couch or wherever you're at, go for your buttocks there and the seat as well. Pitter patter your feet on the ground. And now we are going to take a nice, deep, slow breath in through the nose, down to the belly, and out through the nose. In and out. In and out. Now, as we continue to breathe in and out through the nose, always in this, because it relaxes you more than anything else. We were obligatory nasal breathers as little kids. That's how we got mama's milk or the bottle. I want you to imagine that we are all in one giant circle today. Everybody watching this, past, future, and present. And we take hands with the person to our right, hands with the person to our left. We breathe in and lean to the right. We breathe out and lean to the left. In to the right. Out to the left. In and out. In and out. Now, as you continue to breathe in and out together, all as one, I want you to find yourself magically transported to your favorite park. Maybe it's Central Park in New York City. Maybe it's a park in whatever city you're in. Maybe it's a park someplace completely elsewise, or even out in nature, out in the country, out in the mountains. But I want you to take yourself to your favorite park. Maybe someplace where there's a little bit of grass, some nice trees, maybe even an oak tree. It's whatever kind of tree works for you. And I want you to find yourself sitting there in the park. For myself, there's grass all around. I've got my back up against an oak tree. And for this one, I've actually found myself in Central Park. How does it get any better than this? I can see the people walking by. I can see the dogs. I've got my legs outstretched, and it feels so good to be grounded on the grass. I breathe in and out. In and out. As you continue to breathe in and out, I want you to feel how connected you are to the grass, how connected you are to the earth. And if you have your back up against a tree, how connected you are to the tree as well. In fact, as you breathe in and out, it almost feels like you're not taking the breaths, but the tree is breathing you instead. With each breath, the tree is breathing more life into you. With each breath, Mother Earth, through the ground, through the grass, through the soil, is breathing new life into you as well. And you find yourself at peace, at ease, internally with greater balance, greater peace, and dare I say, greater silence. Breathe in that sweetness, or let the breath be sweet as breathed into you, and release. Breathe in that sweetness again, and release. And one more time, and release. Now, as you're doing this, we're just about on 422. You may be doing this on 422 or 224, or it may be the day after. We're simply anchoring into this 422 energy, which is perfectly fine even the day afterwards. But we're grounded now. We're at peace. We're plugged into the earth. And we get to ask to the earth, ask to your angels, ask to your higher self, what is this great decision that I get to make today? Or what is that archetypal pattern I get to let go of? And now, like an SAT quiz or whatever is your own standardized test that you may or may not have had to take as a child, what's the first thing that comes up? That first thing is not coming from you. It's coming from your angels. It's coming from your guides. It's coming from your higher self. And so put out one more question. What's the first step I get to take today? Or in the morning, for that matter. And again, listen with your heart for the first thing that comes up. This is where you get to act. This is where you get to step forward. This is where you get to play are your new ascendant timeline. Yes. The parallel reality and timeline you've always wished you could be on, but didn't even know existed, is waiting for you, is calling for you as you step forward. Even if it's an infinitesimally small step, remember, you are, the trees have your back. The angels have your back. You are connected to Mother Earth. She has your back. She has your everything. You are not going it alone. But as you make this decision, as you step forward, I promise you, now in this moment energetically, and then appearing physically before you, you will be rewarded. So let's take just another minute to bask in the silence, to soak in all the positive goodness from the earth, from the tree, from this park you possibly can. In fact, you can feel yourself getting stronger and more courageous with each breath. And then before we wrap things up, particularly on this 4222224 kind of day, I like to say, thank you, angels. Thank you, guides. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guides. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guides. How does it get any better than this as you come on back now? How does it get any better than this? They've got your back. Your higher self has your back. The tree has your back. Wednesday, if you come join us for a clearing, we've got your back. I've got your back. And I can't help but send all my love your way. I hope you have felt this good, loving, positive, supportive energy here tonight. I hope you step forward tomorrow. Call on help. Heck, you can put it out there when you go to sleep tonight. Angels and guys, I need help tomorrow. I need help with this decision. I need help stepping forward. Let me know what it is or how it is, and I will do it. But I could use your help, and they will be there with you. I love you guys so, so much. Have the most amazing evening ahead. Thank you, Ann Bear, Aya Bear, Margin the Dream Team, Super Bobs. Thank you to Hannah Bear. I hope you're feeling better. Miraku on the other side, Rue on the other side, and our entire team here and on the other side of the veil. Love you guys so, so much. And let's see. Susan, thank you. And Anna, thank you so, 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 so. Amanda. I cannot thank you enough. Lots of love to everyone and have the most amazing evening ahead. Woohoo! See you Wednesday.
Every day there's a new horizon. Birds keep on singing, earth keeps on spinning. Time to toss any fears they rule you. Dance to vibrations, no limitations. Shine, hold the sunlight on your chest and fly. Look to the sky, let your spirit shine brightly, shine brightly. Oh, shine. Share the magic deep in your soul. Feel glitter around you. Live your greatest truth. Catch those dreams.